Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, and from Studio B, it's me, the Grumpy Old Man. Yes! Hello, friends.
What a... I'm just going to say it. What a shitty day. Everything was going fine. Got the new computers installed over in Studio A. Got all the wiring taken care of. Kind of tidied the station up a little bit. Was given the okay to go from the IT guys to download my Prism Live Studio in the new computers. Computer. The second one is for editing. So, I go over, download, it installs, and just as I go to fire everything up to test it, everything goes black. Lost internet signal. So, of course, the first thing, I go over and I check the router. Or, as they say across the pond, the router. Yeah, it drove me crazy last night. We'll get into that after I... The router is fine. Getting a perfect signal. No failure warnings or notifications on the router. So, we call the IT guys. And of course they ask all the stupid questions. Is the router turned on? Yeah. Does it have two blue lights? Yeah. Does the Wi-Fi have a blue light? Yeah. What do you mean that everything should be working? I know. But nothing's working. So in other words, get your asses over here to the studio. Jesus. So they come in. They got to verify that the router's working. Like, I'm going to tell them a story to get them. Then, they look at the gigabit switch. Because I run multiple computers off the router. So it goes into a splitter, basically. No lights on the gigabit switch. None. not even a power light. So they says, the power transformer probably burned out. I'll just run down the hall and get a new one. So he runs down the hall, comes back with the transformer, plugs it into the back of the gigabit switch. Nothing. Now, this is a brand new transformer. It was in a box. The gigabit switch, in plain English, took a shit. Do we have a spare in the building? No. Now you would think, with all the studios running gigabit switches, we would have a spare on the shelf like they had the transformer. No. So everything comes to a grinding halt. At this point, the grumpy old man is not happy. So I told him, I said, once you get everything up and running, I'll be back. I'm going to run up to the grocery store. Of course, we have this shitty cold rain today. So I get up to the grocery store and I go to pull into a parking spot. And here is this asshole in a Chrysler van parked in the middle of two spaces. Right dead ass in the center of two handicap spaces. So, of course, I can feel the veins in my head starting to expand. To which I said,
You're taking up two spaces. Can you move your van into one space or the other? To which he replies, I'm only going to be here for another minute or so. I'm waiting for my wife to come out of this store. To which I reply, do you see her at the register? Now there's two registers in operation. To which he replies, no, I don't see her in the checkout line. And now, the veins are really getting large. And I politely said,
Can you At this point, he tells me I am number one. Not something you want to do to Grumpy. So, I asked him again, can you move your damn van? You're taking up 2 parking spaces. At which point, I slowly open my jacket and then close my jacket.
Friends, I never saw someone reposition a van as fast as he did. And once he got repositioned, I backed into the spot that was now open for me. Yep. And I waited to see if I was still number one on his list. He wouldn't even look at me, which made me happy because I did not wish to look at him. Asshole. So I go in with my list. Yeah. And the other day when I went, I forgot the list. Sit here and make a list. Get to the store. Damn it. And you think I could remember what was on the list? No. Out of 6 items, I only could remember 4. So I got the 4. And when I got home, as soon as I walked in the door, the memory re-engaged. And I remembered the 2 items. Unfortunately, they were the 2 main items that I needed for dinner. So I had to go to alternate plan B. So today, I make out the list. I put it in my pocket. I go up to the store. They were out of the main item I needed for dinner. Now, alternate plan B was okay, but I really wanted alternate plan A. So I got, the old coin toss. Since they're out of this, I'll take this. The only thing that made my day when I came out of the store, there were 4 shopping carts in the parking lot due to the cold rain. So Grumpy gathered up all 4 quarts. Quarts. Yeah. 4 quarts. Come on, Tom. Carts. Because, see, each cart will pay Grumpy a quarter, which goes into my monthly gasoline fund. Because, people, it's like, screw it, it's only a quarter. May only be a quarter to you, but it means a lot more to me. And I'm not afraid to walk around the parking lot and gather up shopping carts. Not at all. Took me about a minute and a half to gather the 4 carts, push them up to the front of the store, and make $1. Yep. I do it all the time. It's amazing. Like I said, a quarter to, what is it? Generation Z? Is that what we're on? Gen Z? A quarter don't mean shit to them. But when Gen Z becomes the senior generation, believe me, they'll be looking for carts with quarters abandoned in the parking lot. Like Grumpy. I'm not embarrassed. I'll chase them carts. The only problem is, there were 2 carts the other day I could not get as much as I wanted them. Because once you pass a certain line in the parking lot, they have electronic locks on the wheels. This wheel in the back locks, and this wheel in the front locks. So you can't even, pick the cart up and put it. Nope. And when I entered the store, one of the assistant managers happened to be standing up front. And she says, I appreciate your effort, because I know you return all the carts. But unfortunately, when they lock, they lock. And they have to go out with some sort of electronic box that sends a signal and unlocks the wheels. So they get the quarters. Yeah. There was 50 cents Grumpy couldn't get. Yep. Oh. For those of you that are scratching your head going, what the hell is a gigabit switch? The IT guys left it here. This run focus. Focus. This is a gigabit switch. It's basically an Ethernet switch. You plug in. Yep. This took a dump today. El Scrapo, El Shitsky, El Junko, El Pain in the Asso. Yeah. Now, as you can see, there really isn't much to it. All they had to do was, come in and unscrew the screws that it mounts on, unplug all the Ethernet plugs, make sure that they got number one where it belonged, because number one comes off of the router, or as they say across the pond, the router. Yeah. That drove me crazy last night. They say the same words that we have here a different way. Like, we say aluminum and they say aluminium. We say router, they say router. We say respiratory system, they say respiratory. So, when you're watching something that is basically broadcast by the BBC, it drives you crazy. Yeah, I was watching, this was a murder mystery. And, the woman is on the phone with 999. Yeah, that's another thing. We have 911, they have 999. And the dispatchers, is his respiratory system operational? The woman, no. I'm trying to think some of the so they were tracking this guy by his cell phone. And basically, once he got home, his phone connected with the Wi-Fi. But instead of them saying, he connected with the Wi-Fi, when he stepped into the residence, his phone connected with the router. And I was like, router? You mean like router? His phone connected with a sewer cleanout system? No. The router. The router. And they told him, because he was like, how did you manage to track me down? Whoa, we followed your phone connecting to different routers. Oh. In other words, asshole, you should have shut the phone off and left it off. That was an interesting. As a matter of fact, the one that followed it was quite interesting. Because they tracked this guy by his GPS unit. He had a Garmin. Because he had older van that didn't have, like the new vehicles today, they got the GPS built right in. Yeah, he had a Garmin GPS. And it was hilarious because he had made sure that when he was going out to dispose of the person that he decided to give a last breath through, he turned off his phone, not thinking that the police could track him by his Garmin GPS. So, they had him in the interrogation room, and they asked him for his cell phone, which he gladly handed over because from the minute that he took this person's last breath, he shut his phone off. So he gladly handed it over, knowing they could not track him by cell phone towers. So unfortunately, since he wasn't voluntarily giving up any information, and his phone was not giving up any information, they had to let him go. Well, what he was unaware of, they had obtained a search warrant to seize his van. And in the glove box of his van was his Garmin GPS unit. So after they examined and figured out where he disposed of his ex-wife, they called him into the station for another interview. And he gladly came in. Because, see, he forgot the Garmin was in the glove box. And he knew when they seized the van basically wasn't going to tell him too much. You know, it wasn't like the van was going to say, well, you know, out of the 1,800 miles that he put on the van, at the 900-mile point is where he dug a hole. So he came in quite cocky. And they started to question him. And over there, if you don't want to answer a question, it's no comment. So they asked him a question, no comment. They asked him another question, no comment. And he no commented about 15 freaking times. And he was feeling quite the shit. And the one detective says, by the way, we have your Garmin. And I think, first of all, he shit himself. And then the color just drained from his face. And his expression was like, and of course, the Garmin led the police right to the hole he dug in the middle of a cornfield. But he thought, I'll shut my cell phone off, and they won't be able to track me. Well, he was right. But he forgot he had programmed the Garmin. And he failed to remove the SD card. And he also failed to wipe the memory. And the look on his face was priceless. It was like that, oh shit. It's hilarious watching how the British police differ from police over here. Hilarious. You know, perfect example. Police get into a high-speed chase, and they finally get the guy stopped. And, they jerk him out of the vehicle and beat the shit out of him. Not over in Britain. When they get the guy stopped, the officer walks up to the vehicle and says, "Sir, would you step back to our vehicle so that we can have a chat?" Meanwhile, the guy's doing 105 in a 50. Yeah. Could you step back for a chat? And of course, the guy steps back and gets in, and they have a chat. Yeah, I'd like to see him try that here. Would you like to step back for a chat? Kiss my ass, cover. That'd be about what it is. Oh, no, there's politeness on both sides. But boy, I'll tell you what. Do they have a camera system over there? Oi! They were tracking this one guy. And I mean, like every block. Of course, the officer had to go through like 20 hours of CCTV footage. But yeah, once they lock onto you, and they've got what we have them here. We don't use them as much as they do. It's ANPR, automatic number plate reader. Reads your license plates. And I'll tell you what, those cameras get a reading that's I hate this one that's backwards. All right. When it's as clear as this, when the vehicle is passing the camera, that's how clear it comes up. Like that. Of course, they got them goofy license plates over there. And it's strange. The plate on the back of the vehicle is yellow. And the plate on the front is white. And you don't go to the license bureau like we do here and get a plate. You go in and you pay your road tax. And they hand you a slip of paper with your plate number. And then you go to a shop. They're all over the place. And you give the shop owner the license number, and he makes a license plate. Yeah, you don't go in the motor vehicle division and they hand you a license plate. They give you a number. And then you go and while you wait, world's strongest Velcro because the officer one night was trying to get a plate off and he was bending the shit out of it, prying it off the Velcro. Yeah. You put the Velcro strips on and stick the plate to the Velcro. But yeah, you go to a place that makes the plate for you. Like Grumpy. Where is my plate? Yeah, it must be in the other studio. Yeah. Strange. And over there, you have to go through a yearly inspection. And if your vehicle don't pass, if you can't get it to pass, you're shit out of luck, pal. Not like me and my 2 shit boxes. Oh, no. And if you are stopped and you do not have car insurance, they seize the vehicle. And I think it's 15 days. If you do not produce an insurance policy within 15 days, they crush your car. And it could be anything from, a Ford Focus to a Bentley. They don't care. If you don't produce insurance in the allotted time, the vehicle gets crushed. Yep. They had a whole program one night on that. Shows the impound lot and the motor vehicle department comes in and they walk through with the lot owner and they have fluorescent spray paint and they check their records, and if the time has passed, they spray an X on the windows. And that guy comes with a forklift, pokes it through the windows, picks it up, and takes it over to the crusher, and it makes a block out of it. Yeah, they don't screw around over there. Grumpy shitbox Nissan would be about that big. It was hilarious. The one vehicle that they crushed, I don't know how it managed it. But after it was crushed in a block, the door handle still had the key sticking in it. When they pulled it out of the crusher and set it down, the officer and the employees of the impound lot, they were all standing laughing because here was the door handle on the side of this crushed block with the key still in the door, unhurt. But yeah, they don't screw around. And speaking of screwing around, the IT guys are done screwing around. Grumpy has a new operational gigabit switch. So tomorrow in Studio A, I can finish testing to see if my Prism software fully downloaded and installed, so I can get that studio up and running. Plus, I gotta figure out why that one app keeps telling me, my sound effects. I need to renew a license that I never had. I think they just want money. They ain't getting any. Although I probably won't be getting any sound effects either. But there's other apps, I'll just find something. But before I go, and I'm getting ready to go, I know everybody's like, Jesus. Can I get one more subscriber? Is it possible between now and Sunday to get me to 40? 40. I'm at 39. I only need one. One more. I'm not greedy. I'd like 10,000, but one more. Get me to the big 40. And with that, friends, have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I, the grumpy old man, will chat with you